When she finally sends that message after weeks or even months of silence, your emotions might jump to the surface. Maybe part of you feels excited, validated, or even hopeful. But here's the truth: the worst thing you can do in that moment is to rush into replying. When you respond instantly, you send an unspoken message that you've been sitting around waiting for her, that your world paused the moment she walked away. That energy doesn't pull her closer, it pushes her away because it shows a lack of control and self respect. The first thing you need to do when you see that notification pop up is to breathe and take a step back. Don't let your emotions dictate your response. Take your time, whether it's an hour, a few hours, or even a full day, if that's what feels right. This isn't about playing childish games or trying to manipulate her. It's about showing her, and more importantly, yourself, that your life doesn't revolve around her attention. When you take your time, it sends a silent but powerful message. You've moved forward, you're grounded, and you don't need her validation to feel whole. Think about it this way: when someone respects themselves, they don't feel the need to prove anything. They're not in a rush to please anyone or show that they're available at the snap of a finger. That kind of calm confidence is magnetic because it subtly reminds her that you're not the same person she walked away from. And believe me, she will feel that shift even through a simple text. Taking your time also gives you the space to think clearly. Maybe her message is just a casual hey, or maybe she's reaching out with something more personal. Either way, pausing before you reply gives you a chance to decide what kind of tone you want to set. Do you want to keep the conversation polite but distant? Are you open to reconnecting? Or do you just want to acknowledge her without opening the door too wide? You can only make that choice from a position of clarity, and clarity doesn't come when you're reacting purely on emotion. The beauty of patience in these moments is that it shifts the dynamic without you having to say a single word. She expected the old version of you, the one who would jump at the chance to reply in seconds, pouring out attention and energy. When that doesn't happen, she begins to feel something unexpected: curiosity, maybe even a touch of regret. She starts wondering what's changed, why you're not acting the way you used to. And that's when the power of your silence and composure really begins to work. So when that message comes, don't panic and don't chase. Let your calmness speak for you. It's in that quiet confidence that she'll realize the value you've always carried, and that's when the dynamic begins to shift in your favor. When you finally decide to respond to her message, the key is to keep it calm, composed, and neutral. This is where most men go wrong. They either let their emotions pour out, replying with paragraphs that reveal they've been craving her attention, or they go to the other extreme, sending something cold and harsh to prove they don't care. Neither approach works. What truly works is balance. A short, confident, and emotionally controlled response that shows you're grounded and unbothered. Your reply should never sound needy or desperate. A simple, polite response like, hey, I'm good, how about you? Or, yeah, I've been busy, hope you're well, carries more weight than a long, emotionally charged message. Why? Because it communicates that you're living your life, that you're not hanging on to the past, and that you're not seeking her validation. It keeps the tone respectful but detached, allowing you to maintain control of the conversation without appearing cold. Think of it this way: your response should mirror the life you've been living while she was gone. A life that's full, confident, and independent. By keeping things short and calm, you subtly show her that you haven't been waiting around. You've been focused on yourself, building your confidence, your goals, your peace. That energy speaks volumes without you having to explain a single thing. It's also important not to over explain or justify anything. If she asks why you didn't reach out or why you were quiet, resist the urge to pour out a long explanation. A simple, steady response like, I've just been focusing on myself, is enough. It shows maturity and self awareness without giving her the satisfaction of knowing she had that much power over you. It reminds her in a subtle way that her absence didn't break you, instead, it helped you grow. This calm approach also prevents you from getting sucked back into an emotional roller coaster. If you let your feelings take over and dive headfirst into the conversation, you're likely to slip back into the same dynamic that left you feeling drained in the first place. By keeping your tone neutral and your message short, you protect your energy while giving yourself the time to assess her true intentions. Because here's the reality, not every message from her is a sign of genuine interest. Sometimes it's curiosity, sometimes it's boredom, and sometimes it's just a test to see if you're still available. By responding calmly and without attachment, you take away her ability to control the narrative. Instead, you set the tone, and that shift in energy is what often makes her feel the change in you. A calm, controlled response is your quiet power move. It shows that you've grown, that you respect yourself, and that your life is too valuable to hand over to someone else's whims. That's the energy that makes her see you in a new light, and that's how you regain the upper hand without ever raising your voice. When she reaches out to you after being distant, your natural instinct might be to want to dive right back into the old rhythm, to pick up where things left off. But here's the truth. You can't just fall back into the same dynamic if you truly want to maintain your power and self respect. Instead, you have to create space for her to show her intentions clearly. That means pacing yourself, keeping the interaction light, and allowing her actions, not just her words, to tell you why she's back. When you slow things down, you gain clarity. You're not rushing to reply instantly or pouring out your emotions to someone who might not even know what she really wants. You're observing. Is she making a genuine effort to reconnect? Is she asking about your life and showing real curiosity? Or are her messages vague and inconsistent? This shift in approach puts you in the position of control where you're responding based on her energy instead of trying to earn her attention. Maintaining this space also sends a powerful message without you ever having to say it. You've changed. You're no longer the man who would jump at the first sign of attention. You're grounded, secure, and focused on your own growth. That change in your energy is often what sparks her curiosity and, in many cases, her regret. She starts to feel that she's the one who needs to prove her value to you, not the other way around. Another key part of creating space is not overcommitting too soon. Just because she messaged you doesn't mean you need to rearrange your schedule or drop everything to meet her. Keep your priorities intact. If you're busy, say so. If you need time, take it. This isn't about playing games. It's about protecting your peace and making sure you're not walking back into a situation that doesn't serve you. By staying patient, you also give her the chance to show consistency. One message can be impulsive. A genuine effort will be steady, thoughtful, and respectful of your boundaries. This is how you filter out whether her return is about genuine interest or just a moment of boredom or ego. Remember, silence and self-control are powerful tools in this process. When you don't rush, you allow her to feel the weight of your absence. She senses that you're no longer accessible on her terms, and that realization often shifts the dynamic completely. It forces her to step up if she truly values you, and if she doesn't, you've saved yourself the pain of being dragged back into something that wasn't meant for you. The key is to let the situation unfold naturally while staying rooted in your self-respect. That balance of patience and quiet confidence not only protects you, but also makes you more magnetic. Because nothing is more attractive than a man who knows his worth and doesn't hand it over too easily. When she messages you again, it's easy to feel that rush of excitement and want to respond with the same energy you used to. But here's where most men make a mistake. They either overcompensate by being overly available, or they respond with coldness to teach her a lesson. Neither of those approaches works in your favor. What truly works is balanced confidence, responding with calm, grounded energy that shows you're open to communication but not desperate for it. The key is to acknowledge her message without giving away all your emotional power. Keep your tone light, casual, and confident. If she says, "Hey, how have you been?" you don't need to pour your heart out or replay the history between you. A simple, "I've been good, keeping busy, how about you?" is enough. That tone shows that you're stable and content with your life, with or without her, and that subtle energy speaks volume. Women are incredibly attuned to how a man's energy feels. When you show that her presence doesn't dictate your peace, it naturally draws her in. Confidence also means not feeling pressured to give her more than she's giving you. If she's sending short, casual messages, match that energy instead of over investing. On the other hand, if she's putting in effort and asking thoughtful questions, you can reciprocate with more engagement. This keeps the interaction balanced and prevents you from sliding back into old habits of over pursuing or over explaining. Another important aspect of confidence is patience. You don't have to rush to figure out where her head is at or what she wants. Let the conversation breathe. Take time before responding if you're busy or simply don't feel like replying right away. This isn't about playing games, it's about showing that you value your time and aren't driven solely by her availability. Ironically, this calm, measured response often makes her even more interested because she sees that you're no longer the man who will bend his world around her texts. And here's something you need to remember: confidence isn't arrogance. It's not about trying to make her feel like you don't care. It's about demonstrating through your actions that you respect yourself. That kind of quiet strength communicates that you're a man of value, someone who doesn't need validation from anyone, including her. And when she senses that shift in you, it changes the entire dynamic. She's the one now wondering how to earn back your attention and effort. By staying calm, collected, and authentic in your responses, you set the tone for any interaction moving forward. Whether this leads to a genuine reconnection or simply a respectful closure, you'll know you handled yourself with dignity and control. That's the real win, being the man who knows his worth and doesn't need to prove it to anyone. When she reaches out again, one of the most powerful things you can do is to keep the conversation light and positive. This doesn't mean you're pretending nothing happened or ignoring the past entirely. It means you're choosing to show her that you're in a good place emotionally, that you've grown, and that you're not holding on to resentment. Women are naturally drawn to men who radiate calm confidence and emotional stability, and keeping things light is the easiest way to project that energy without saying a word. And when you respond with positivity, you shift the tone of the conversation in your favor. Instead of coming across as bitter, needy, or overly serious, you're showing her that you have a life that makes you happy and that her message is simply an added bonus, not your entire world. A simple, upbeat response like, "Hey, good to hear from you. I've been keeping busy. Life's been good," sends a subtle but powerful signal. It tells her that you've moved forward with your life, that you're content, and that you're not going to use this opportunity to rehash old wounds or demand explanations. This approach also keeps you in control of your emotions. If you let bitterness or hurt seep into your tone, it hands her your power and shows that you're still affected by her absence. But when you stay light and positive, you make her curious. She starts to wonder how you've managed to grow so much, how you're able to stay so calm and composed. That curiosity works in your favor because it makes her want to lean in and engage more. Another reason this works so well is that positivity makes you magnetic. People are drawn to energy that feels good, and when you're light, warm, and easy to talk to, you naturally create a safe space where she feels comfortable opening up. This doesn't mean you have to be overly cheerful or fake. It simply means you respond with grounded confidence and kindness, letting her see that you've matured and that you're no longer caught up in any past drama. By keeping the conversation light, you also create space for her to show you where her intentions truly are. If she's serious about reconnecting, she'll make an effort to keep the conversation going, to share more about her life, and to find ways to see you again. If she's just testing the waters or reaching out of boredom, that will become clear too. And because you stay calm and positive, you won't feel blindsided or desperate. This balance, being friendly but not overly invested, is what sets you apart. It shows her that you've evolved, that you're capable of standing tall in your own life, and that any interaction with you now is on your terms. And that quiet strength is often what makes her realize exactly what she lost in the first place. The final and perhaps most important move when she messages you again is to protect your energy and set clear boundaries. Just because she reached out doesn't mean she automatically gets full access to you or your emotions. You have to understand that your attention, your time, and your energy are valuable. If she walked away once or treated you with disrespect in the past, it's your responsibility now to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself. This isn't about being cold or playing games. It's about showing her and yourself that you value who you are and that you're not willing to let anyone disrupt your peace. When you set boundaries, you're telling her without words that your life has structure and that you're not desperate for her validation. This creates an entirely different dynamic, one where she realizes she has to approach you with respect if she wants a place in your life again. For example, if she texts you late at night or tries to keep things casual when you're looking for something more intentional, you don't have to play along. You can simply respond when it's convenient for you, or even choose not to engage at all if it doesn't align with your standards. Boundaries also help you maintain emotional balance. It's easy to get caught up in old feelings or slip back into old patterns, especially if you cared deeply for her. But by keeping those boundaries firm, like not responding immediately, not over explaining yourself, and not agreeing to things that don't feel right, you protect yourself from falling back into a cycle that once hurt you. And the beauty of this is that women notice. They can sense when a man has leveled up and refuses to settle for less than he deserves. And that shift in energy changes everything. Another part of protecting your energy is being intentional about what you want moving forward. Ask yourself, does reconnecting with her align with your goals, your peace, and your growth? If the answer is yes, then you can proceed slowly, with patience, and on your own terms. But if you feel that her presence would only bring confusion or chaos, you have every right to walk away. No explanations needed. Silence, in this case, is its own form of strength. Remember, setting boundaries doesn't make you harsh, it makes you strong. It shows that you're a man who values himself, who understands that his life is full and meaningful with or without her in it. And ironically, it's often when you finally stand firm in your own worth that she realizes the gravity of what she lost. By protecting your energy, you're not only taking care of yourself, you're also setting the stage for deeper respect and healthier dynamics in any relationship you choose to allow in the future.